Olson going to Atlanta and the A's receiving a bunch of prospects. And we'll learn a little bit more about what Oakland got when we bring in our big gun, Jim Bowden, who joins us live here on HQ. Jim, before we get into who those guys are that Oakland is getting in return, tell us what this does for the Braves and why they did it.
Well, they wanted to bring Freddie Freeman back. They made significant offers to bring him back. However, they felt like it was not going to happen, and they decided to pivot and make the trade for Matt Olson, who, quite frankly, is 3 years younger than Freddie Freeman and extremely talented in the middle of his prime years, only 27 years old. And as you mentioned, 39 homers last year, 111 RBIs, a Gold Glove defender at first base. So, the Braves have this run right now where they can win back-to-back World Championships. They're going to have Ronald Acuna back sometime in May. To have Acuna and Olson in the middle of the lineup, they just couldn't wait for Freeman, who appears possibly be heading to the Los Angeles Dodgers, according to some of my sources. They seem to be pretty close to doing a deal. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But for Atlanta, to go from Freeman to Olson, not much of a loss as they try to repeat their championship.
And you've confirmed this deal, Jim, and it's likely the end of the Freddie Freeman era in Atlanta, though some would say, hey, we've got the universal DH now. Any chance that the Braves could bring him back as a DH?
No, I was told that they are moving on from Freeman because they couldn't get a deal done. The window to trade for Matt Olson was closing on them. They knew they had to pull the trigger. And quite frankly, they were able to come up with a deal that they were comfortable with. Now, there's a lot of people that are going to criticize them for giving up their top two prospects, and they gave up two really good defensive players, and that's what Oakland gets back in this deal. Shea Langeliers, the catcher, former #1 pick, is a tremendous defensive catcher, can catch and throw. I don't know how much he's going to hit, but defensively, he's got a chance to be a Gold Glove catcher. In center field, you've got Christian Pache. This kid can fly, has great range, is a really good defender. There's a lot of questions on whether or not Christian Pache is going to hit enough. But the Oakland got a really good catcher defensively and a really good defensive center fielder in this deal. And they get two pitching prospects, Ryan Cusick and Joey Essex. Both of those guys should be able to Oakland down the road. So I think Oakland did well here. But for the deep farm system that Atlanta has, they still have a top outfield prospect in Michael Harris, who, quite frankly, I like better than Christian Pache, and they were able to not put him in that deal. So I thought Atlanta did really well in this trade. I know Braves fans will be upset, but looking at the bright side, they've got a world championship, and now they've got a much younger baseman with similar talent.
Matt Olson to the Atlanta Braves, but they gave up some good prospects in return. Jim Bowden reporting that news for us today here on CBS Sports HQ. And you could hear a lot more about baseball on our Nothing Personal podcast with David Sampson, though it is not just baseball. It is all things sports and entertainment and life.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.